What's up, what's up, what's up, folks? Welcome to the Terrible Towel post-game show. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and unfortunately, guys, we are talking about a Pittsburgh Steelers loss. We're going to get into it in just a moment. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to pull up the Skype, so if anybody wants to come on, definitely, you know what you have to do. You have to send me a message on Skype. If you're not already a contact of mine, exact same name, SimFBallCritic. Shoot me a friend request on there. I'll bring you on. We're limiting calls to 2 to 3 minutes at the most, okay? All right? So let me see if we already got anybody in there. Looks like we already got a few people in here. Jesse wants to come on, so definitely we're going to get you on tonight, Jesse. And I'm not sure who else. But again, if you want to come on, you need to shoot me a request. Shoot me a quick chat on Skype. It's the same exact name as the channel, SimFBallCritic. We'll bring you on for 2 to 3 minutes at the max, and then we'll be out of here. So let's talk about this game, shall we? Let me bring back the window back up so I can see you guys. I have my notations here, guys, and basically what I do now, man, is I just note key elements of the game, and I'm going to jump right into them. First, let's talk about the coaching. People always say, Sim, you don't never give any blame to the coaching. Let me blame the coaches for 2 things here. Again, clock management. What is going on with the clock management? Okay, we burned the timeout in the first half. Okay, and you could tell that the offensive players wasn't really understanding what was happening. Ben saw McDonald in the huddle and was like, wait a minute, we can't run this play. Whose fault is that? I know people want to blame Tomlin. Could be, I don't know. Or is it the offensive coordinator? I mean, I feel like it's probably both, but at the same time, I feel like it's more on the offensive coordinator because when you hear these coaches talk, you hear what Tomlin says about, he allows his guys to coach. I don't think Tomlin is on top of the substitutions and things like that, but we got to blame everybody, okay? So I'll give Tomlin a little bit of blame there. I don't know how much he should get, but I give Fichtner a lot of blame, and I give Ben. Well, at least Ben had the wherewithal to know timeout. But then in the second half, again, 2 times, we got to call timeouts, okay? And as you can see, being that the way the game played out, at the end, we had no opportunity to, hold on to a hope and a prayer and stop them and get the ball back because we only had 1 timeout. Clock management. Number 2, on coaching. I didn't like the series of downs on that last drive at the goal line, pretty much at the 3. I'm looking at Leonard because, I'm crazy. I sit close to the TV like it's going to make me closer to the game as I'm taking my notes. I turn back and look at Leonard. I said, Leonard, we should have ran the football on that first down. We had them spread it out. It was a pretty decent formation, man-to-man. Run it, okay? On the next series, what did Tony, on the next down, Tony Romo even said it. This is not the front you want to run against. We run the football. We run off tackle to the left. James Conner gets maybe a yard. Then what happens on 3rd down? Ben Roethlisberger decides that he wants to throw it to an Antonio Brown who wasn't open. Roby was underneath that, and where the ball was traveling, it's not going to get to AB anyway. Once again, Ben Roethlisberger seems to favor Antonio Brown a lot in these situations. Don't you think everybody else on the field is understanding that defensively? I didn't like that succession of play calling. Run the ball a couple times. I would have ran it on 1st down just to see what we dealing with when you got them spread. The box was pretty favorable on that 1st down, and we throw the ball. Now, it was a nice, call to throw the quick fade. The route that Juju ran was great. Ben overthrew him a little bit. Whatever. But I feel like run the ball. And also, here's another thing with coaching. Is it me, guys? And somebody can correct me, and I'm going to come back and ask you guys later, so because I'm not looking at the chat right now. Is Denver known for stopping the run? Why did it seem like the game plan today was to pass? However, and I'm going to give some credit a little bit later in this video. Hey, O-line did a great job for the most part. Okay, I know guys are going to say, well, we gave up 2 sacks. Okay, we're playing against Von Miller, number 1. Number 2, when Roethlisberger drops back over 50 times, you think we're going to protect it every time? So I'm not even going to beat up the offensive line. They did a phenomenal job. Chooks, core 4, played his butt off for the most part. But why was the game plan to just pass? We never really established the run, which kind of played into the Broncos' hand, right? Now, we were moving the ball. Ben Roethlisberger throws for well over 400 yards. I'm getting a text. No, it's not a text. I thought maybe Tony might have been texting me, letting me know the deal with the Broncos run game. That's why I looked and checked. But and then it just seemed like the plan from the jump was pass. Now, again, I'm not beefing about it because it worked out. We were able to run. I mean, we moved the ball all over the field. Okay, so now let's get to the negative. The bad game bug bit the Pittsburgh Steelers once again. We had a bad game on the road against Jacksonville. We somehow was able to get that game back in order. Ben is the hero, runs it in. Bam. We win that game. Let's go back to coaching. Did y'all see the shovel pass to Juju again at the goal line? Last week, we tried to throw it to Vance McDonald, but we all know, and I said it last week, we run that play to Juju or Vance McDonald, sometimes Jesse James. Again, we run it and it gets stuffed. Fichtner, can you please fall in love with another play down in when you're less than 5 to go to the goal? Can we please fall in love with another play or two? That shovel pass is not working no more. It seems like defenses are all over it. I'm not saying it won't ever work again, but it seems like teams have been watching us since last season when we pulled that off. How about try to play that we did earlier this year to AB, where AB comes in motion? Remember that one? And it was like a quick screen to him and he goes right in. I mean, we ain't seen that but one time, but we've seen the shovel play multiple times this season. Didn't work. Okay, that's number one. And also, Ben Roethlisberger. Before we even get to Roethlisberger, let's talk about the first big problem. Okay, so we allowed a blocked field goal. It happens. You know, kudos to them. They did a great job. I don't know who you can blame on that. They did a great job, even though I didn't know this, but Tony Romo alluded to the fact that they've been doing this quite a few times this season. I don't know how you coach against that. I don't know. It got blocked. Great job by them. But let's talk about the next big thing that happened. Where is it? I have it in my notes here. I don't even have to find it because I know. There it is. Xavier Grimble. Now listen, let me give kudos. I'm actually going to give a round of applause. I'm going to give a round of applause to their defensive player. I have to. I have to give this guy a round of applause. And the reason why I have to give him a round of applause, guys, is because, listen, that was a heck of a tackle, okay? That was a heck of a tackle. And let me make sure you guys are hearing me because I can't necessarily, yeah, you guys can hear me. For some reason, the audio is not coming back to me. I don't know why that is, but whatever. Heck of a tackle. Knocked the ball out. Great job by him. I mean, I don't know what else to say there. But Grimble, you got to get into the end zone, buddy. Secure the ball. I mean, secure the ball. When you're taking on an oncoming tackler, you got to secure the ball. He fumbles it forward, points off of the board. Think about that for a moment. Those were points that should have been on the board. Very early in the game, the Steelers could have very well have been 13-3. Could have very well been up 13-3. If the field goal isn't blocked, which, again, I'm not going to make that excuse. They did a great job blocking it, but let's just say what if. And that touchdown isn't taken off the board. If Grimble gets in there, or if, at least if you get it on the 1-inch line or whatever, there's more points that are taken off of the board. Now let's talk about what else happened. The biggest problem in this game, turnovers. Yeah, the hero, Ben Roethlisberger, throws an errant pass to Antonio Brown in the middle of the field. Chris Harris Jr. comes up with the pick. Threw it nowhere near Antonio Brown, okay? Then, of course, at the end of the game, what happens? Again, he tries to throw it to Antonio Brown. Great play by their defensive tackle. And that's the end of the story. Once again, Roby was under that anyway. So even if he gets it to AB, it's probably not going to be caught. It's probably going to be batted down, or he probably picks it off. Again, guys, I keep saying it. I love Ben Roethlisberger for what he does, but there are times where it seems like Ben falls in love with his security blanket being Antonio Brown, and he makes the wrong play at the wrong time. Because I really wanted to come on this show and tell you guys how good a job Ben did today. And he did for the most part. But we can't take away those 2 interceptions that were critical. Here's another one. James Conner. Ugh. I wanted to say what a great job you did on that screen pass, catch and run, making moves, and you fumbled the football. And the ball wasn't even contacted. It just, when he got hit low, he loses control of the ball. Turnovers. I'm going to give all credit due to the Denver Broncos, but let's be honest. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat themselves today. And I know what people are going to do. Y'all going to fall all apart about the team. And listen, man, we've been saying it for weeks. I believe Kenyon was on my side saying the same thing. The loss was coming. Okay, the Steelers was on a 6-game win streak, which last week we were on a 5-game win streak. And I saw it right then. I said, oh, okay, starting to play a little sloppy, but we got the win. What did I say Tuesday? I don't like this game in Denver for multiple reasons. I didn't like traveling to Denver. I didn't like being in that Denver air. I don't like our history in Denver. But I never thought that the Steelers would beat themselves. Even Romo said it on the broadcast. The Steelers have outplayed the Broncos handedly. Look at the yard disparity. Case Keenum didn't do nothing. Now, what did we do? Here's another problem before I jump into a few positives. Then we're going to go to the calls. Philip Lindsay killed us. What is going on with this run defense? I understand Stephon Tuitt is out. I get it. But does Stephon Tuitt make that much difference? I don't know. And here's the problem with the run game. It's not that the Steelers are getting nickeled and dimed. Like, what I'm saying is, it's not like we are allowing 5 yards here, 7 yards there, 8 yards there, 6 yards here, 9 yards here, 7 yards, 4 yards, 6, 5 yards on first down. No, we're not doing the where you can say they ran all over you. We giving up the big play every time. We gave up a 34-yard run to Philip Lindsay. And then the rest of his plays were pretty much, most of them were 10 or more yards. So we're giving up the chunk. And that's the problem. Again, Lindsay did his thing. I'm not saying, oh, if you take this away, I'm just saying to show you guys where the Steelers are getting gashed. It's the gash run that's killing us. It's not like, from what I'm seeing, that we're getting run on the entire game. Because there's sometimes we patch it up. But we are giving up the gash run. Subtract 34 yards from his total. What do you have? You have to account the gash run. Same thing against the Jags. Remember that series where there was 12-yard run, 22-yard run, 13-yard run, back to back to back to back. We better show up that run defense. But what did I say? We're going to see what type of team we have when we really play some real competition. No disrespect to the Broncos, even though I thought this was a quote-unquote trap game, which I don't believe there's such thing as a trap game. You have the ability to lose every week in the NFL, period. I don't care how good you are. Look at the Jaguars and how good their defense is, and look at the Bills. Look what they did. It happens. There was a point in the game where the Jets, I believe, was ahead. But, of course, New England came back. But my point is, none of that stuff matters in the NFL to me. That all of that teams you're supposed to beat, I get it, and I'm on board slightly. But at the same time, I think any team in the NFL has the opportunity to catch you slipping. The Steelers are not a... How can I say this? The Steelers are close to a complete team, but we just allow too many mistakes. Again, it's funny. Romo said the same thing. If they shore up like the basic things, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. But again, guys, let's not lose our head as fans. Let's acknowledge the fact that, number one, the team is not consistently good every week. Number two, We still don't know how good the defense is because we saw some exposure today, not just against the run, but clearly guys with speed can get past our corners. Even Joe Hayden being our #1 corner. Okay, Tony says the Broncos are 7th against the run, according to ESPN. Now, that okay, I see, okay, you try to respect it a little bit, but still, we needed to try to get the run game going just a little bit more. But it's funny, man, because technically the passing didn't hurt us per se, except for the turnovers. So, it's crazy, man, because I sound excited and hyped, but looking at it from more of a journalistic standpoint, I don't get as upset no more because as much as I study the team, I see where the weaknesses are. You know, people telling me all week. I think I had the conversation with Leonard. People telling me all week, no, we going to go in there. I said, listen, bro, I don't like the Bronco game. I don't. I think this is a game we're going to lose. I had a feel. Tony remembers this. A couple weeks ago, I said, I think we're going to lose one of the games that we're supposed to win. Meaning the Jaguars that had a bad record and the Broncos. And here we go. We lost one of them. Now, the way that our Steelers play, we'll mess around and have a phenomenal game against a great opponent. We might ball out against the Chargers. Or the Saints, which I doubt. I think the Saints game is a loss. I'm calling it now. And how are we going to play against New England? New England hasn't been that good on the road. Speaking of the road, again, lower averages. Pittsburgh Steelers was one of 2 teams that had not lost on the road. So, for as bad as we played, we have to acknowledge, okay, well, you know losses are going to happen. God, listen, I understand that we're so beloved still. You know, we're the beloved Steelers fans. But sometimes you just got to go with the odds sometimes. They hadn't lost on the road. Oh, wait. Tony says they're the 23rd team against the defense. Now, I'm even more mad against the run. I'm even more pissed off now. I don't understand the air attack, but it is what it is. But we got to give credit to a few people. For the most part, the way he moved the ball, Roethlisberger did a great job. We need you to clean up those turnovers because we can't do that against the good teams. Can't do that against Breeze. Cannot do that against Brady. Won't be able to do that against any playoff team if we actually get to the playoffs. And I say if because you never know. Can't do that. Chooks or Corfor. Outstanding job, young man. Round of applause. Outstanding job. And I don't know why I'm not hearing the sound on my end, guys. I have no clue. I don't know. But outstanding job by Chooks. Phenomenal job. Phenomenal job by Chooks. What else? Juju Smith-Schuster. That boy, listen, man. Tony tried to tell me that, no, excuse me. Kenyon tried to tell me this a long time ago. When I was wondering why we grabbed him #2 in the draft, when I thought we needed bigger things, Kenyon said, nah, Sim, we got a baller. That boy Juju is a bad boy. The only player to have 2 touchdowns for 97 yards. That's a bad boy. When Juju is in open field, and it's funny because Juju was really knocked for his speed. And he's not a blazer, but when he get in open field, you better watch out. Because he's going to get past you, and you try to catch him, he's going to give you that little stiff arm. He's a bad boy. Juju has arrived. The boy is bad. Another reason why I don't understand why Roethlisberger has an obsession with AB in these crunch moments. Because I'm sure, and to his credit, I'm sure Juju is opening things up a little bit for AB, but still, the 2 times that you threw to AB today, you forced it. The overthrow, pick off. And then the one in the end zone at the end of the game, AB won't even open, dog. So that's my feedback. I will say this. I'm not going to panic about this game, man. It was due. We played like, you know what, last week. We won that one. We played good this week, but we turned the ball over, and Xavier Grimble gives the touchdown away. It just wasn't our time to win. Also, your boy Switzer almost coughed it up on the fumble, on the punt return. He fumbled. So the game just wasn't It was just a bad game, man. It was a bad game at key moments, and we could not stop the run game when we needed to stop it. Plain and simple. And it was easy runs. They were spreading us out. I mean, Lindsey was squirting through them holes so fast, like, wow. You know, you gotta tip your hat to the Broncos. Again, I know everybody's gonna say, "Oh, I hate this team. Oh, we're done." No. They're still 7-3-1. If we take care of our business, we should still be able to get the division. Let's keep an eye on the Ravens. But the Ravens got tough games coming up as well. They did actually beat the Broncos. So let's hope that doesn't come back to, to bite us in terms of a tiebreaker as far as getting a division. But if we play the way we're supposed to, I still think a 10-5-1 gets it done. What scares me a little bit is you want to put the games that are winnable in the bank. You wanted to get Jacksonville. You wanted to get Denver. You want to get Oakland. Okay? If you do that, that would have gotten you to, 9 wins or so? And then you'll see what happens against the Chargers, the Raiders. I mean, the Chargers, the Patriots, and the Saints. Now it makes it that much more tougher. Now you must go to Oakland and get that win. Now you must beat Cincinnati at the end of the season. You know what I mean? Because where we at 7, so that's 9 wins. Then you got to steal one of those games. You got to get the Chargers. You got to get the Patriots or the Saints. See what I'm saying? Yeah, my math is wrong. We were at 7-3. We were 7-2-1. So if we get today, Oakland, and who else? Cincinnati. That's 10 wins right there. Then you could have kind of played, you could have kind of afforded a loss or two against those other power teams. Now, you make it tougher. You got to beat one of the big boys. And I don't know if we will. I don't know if we will, looking at how we're defending the run right now. Melvin Gordon can run that thing, man. So, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But anyway, let's take the calls, man. I want to see if everything is working. I got 3 people that want to come on, and I wasn't able to hear sound, so let me make sure. I'm going to test, you guys. You might hear a double sound. I'm going to cut the audio on the stream on my side, so y'all might hear double. But I want to make sure that I can hear, because I couldn't hear the round of applause, and that's usually an indication that, let me see. But anyway, let's take the call. So give me a second, guys, because if I can't hear nothing, I can't take the phone call. So I'm going to slide out of here for a minute. I don't know what's going on, why I can't hear anything. Give me a second. Let me see. We should be able to hear something now. Let me check. Let me do a round of applause to check. All right. That's working. All right, so let's take these calls. Again, guys, please, I ask you guys to limit things to 2 to 3 minutes. At the 2-minute warning, I'll give you a sign, and at the 3-minute mark, I just got to cut it because no disrespect, but I have to keep this in order because I would expect nights like this where we got 4 people calling. This is what I love, so we got to keep it short. Here's the order. First up, Jesse. Next after that, Plugged In. After that, Chris Castile. After that, Caleb Long. All right, so let's rock. Let's get Jesse on here first.
Sim, what's going on?
What's up, man? Give me your thoughts on this game, brother. Wait a minute, somebody's calling. My bad, go ahead.
Oh, man, you hit a lot of points, man. But, you know what, Ben, he had a good game, but he always stare Antonio Brown down. I don't get it. You know what that play in the end zone remind me of?
What's that?
It remind me of Eli Rogers in the New England game.
Yeah.
If anything, you're going to run the ball there or you're going to try to throw it to one of your tight ends because they're a little bit taller and all that. You throw it to a 5'9" guy that's covered anyway. I don't get that. Past 2 weeks, our red zone offense haven't been clicking. They haven't been clicking. Think about it. The last week, Switzer, it got picked off, but it came back because of that the penalty on the helmet.
Yeah, you're right. And it's crazy, man, because the Steelers had been, I think they at one time was the #1 team in the red zone.
Yeah, to these past 2 weeks, we was.
Oh man, what you think about that shovel pass, man?
I was about to bring that up, Sam. Because as soon as I saw it, it reminded me of what you said. Like, when are you gonna try something else down there? They on that. They is on that. They done seen that on tape too many on film, too many times. They is on that play.
They on it, man. I mean,
they on it. Why you can't go to the AB play where he motion and come back and you throw the quick pass to him and try to get in the zone? I don't think we trust Connor down up in there, either for a slow screen play or to run the ball. Why are we not running the ball?
2-minute warning.
All pass plays. I don't understand that, man. It upset me, but I knew we was going to drop one of these games. That's like when you asked me how I feel about the rest of the season last time I was on the phone with you. I said 50-50. Because we played down to our competition a lot.
Facts, man. It's crazy because it's tough for me because I don't know if I can. I don't know if I fall into the trap and say that the coaches don't have the team ready. I don't believe that. But it's just weird to see how the players perform sometimes. Like, we clearly saw this game, let's just be fair. It was turnovers and Grimble fumbling the ball. I mean, that's why we lost for the most part. I mean, Lindsey did his thing, but we took points off of the board ourselves. Connor fumbles down on the 20-yard line. Come on,
how you feel about that? How you feel about that? I'm not going to go with, we should have had Le'Veon Bell. That's over with. That shit done sold already. So I'm not one to do that. I'm a Pittsburgh fan. I ride with my team regardless of who on the field, whoever we got, that's who we got. But it reminds me back to last time we played Denver in the playoffs. Fitzgerald Toussaint fumbling. See, Le'Veon Bell ain't had no fumbling problem like that. That's one thing you can say about that boy. He protect the ball. Every now and then he give it up. We're going to need a running back down the stretch to be able to protect the ball. We're going to need a running dog. And he got a problem with, like, as soon as he get towards the sideline, he real loose with the ball. I see even when they get turned over a couple times. Last week, it came out his hand when I think it was Telvin Smith tackled him. It just happened to fall out of bounds.
Very true, man, and I had to cut you right there because of time, but just to respond to you, what you said, I agree with you 100%. It scares me, man, because Connor, I was telling Leonard this watching the game. Connor now has fumbled at critical times. Go back to the Cleveland game in the first game of the season. We up 21-7, about 7 or so minutes left. We driving. If Connor doesn't fumble, there's no momentum given to Cleveland. They scooped and scored off of that. We go 3 and out. Boom. They go right back down the field and score. We tie the game. Very possible that the Steelers would have been going into this game 8-2, because that could have very well been a win. And now look at what happens. He's a part of the turnover bug. Bam. There you go. Yeah, we got to do something, man. So, all right, man, we appreciate Jesse right there, man. Definitely appreciate you calling in. We're going to give you a round of applause. So now we're going to go to Plugged In. And again, guys, 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm going to have to cut you. Nothing personal. Let's call Plugged In. What you got, man? How you feeling about this game, brother? Hello, hello, hello. You there? Going once. Going twice. You there? He's not there, folks. We got to move on. Yo, Plug, call back, man. Send me another chat. Don't call back. Send me a chat and let me know, and I got you. All right, we got Chris Castile. 2 minutes. 2 to 3. 3 at the most. Let's call you. Chris, what's up, man? How you feeling about this game?
Oh man, it hurt my heart.
Yeah, tough one, man.
Yeah. And going back to you were talking about the Chargers and Melvin Ingram. They were just talking about that. Melvin Ingram went out in the Charger game with the MCL sprain, so he might not be playing against us.
Hate to hear that, but woo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I keep hearing about, like on your chats and stuff, people talk about Big Ben, how his turnovers and stuff. I mean, no one's really giving him credit how he just stood in the pocket in the end zone and launched down the field.
That was great, man.
If any other quarterback, they mainly just ball up and take the safety. That's one thing I liked about Big Ben. And I'm seeing like a lot of comparison with Ryan Switzer, how he had I think it was 6 catches or something for, 70 yards or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're using him like a Wes Welker type thing, real quick slants and stuff like that, but as far as the end, the last possession we had before Ben threw the interception, I think that if we could have ran the ball on that first play right there, if you notice, Connor ran around and he had no one right there. So we would have handed off the ball right there. He could have walked into the end zone.
Wide open, man. I don't get it.
I was like, man, there's no. And then, of course, that little shovel stuff, that stuff got to go on, especially on right there. I mean, I don't understand why they keep it. Didn't work last week. Big Ben had to take that into it with himself. And then this week, they look
2-minute warning.
Okay, they're going to shovel right here probably. So let's go ahead and take that away. So it's like every week we try that same stuff down there, the 1 yard line, 2 yard line or something.
It's crazy, man. Now let me ask you this before you go, because we almost at the 3-minute mark. Does this deter you? How you feel about the team? Do you think this game was the end all be all, or do you feel like we still got a chance to clean things up and claim the division and make some noise?
Oh yeah. I think that we'll be able to get the division. Baltimore has some tough games. They're the type of team. 1 week they're inconsistent, next week they play good. They have Atlanta, I think, next week, and then they also still have to play Kansas City.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I think we'll be okay. We just can't. For some reason, we lost to both AFC West teams, and we got 2 more in front of us. We lost to the Chiefs, and now we lost to Denver. And now next week we got the Chargers, and then we got Oakland. I just don't want one of those trends where, oh yeah, we had a good good winning record against our division, but we had a poor record against the AFC West. Because Oakland, to be honest with you, Oakland,
time's up.
They seem like they're bad, but if you not notice, Oakland for some reason always gives us trouble. It doesn't matter what quarterback they hit. Because I remember some years back, Bruce Gronkowski beat us.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff. And then, it's just something about the Oakland Raiders, Pittsburgh. It doesn't matter what the record is. But yeah, Sim, that's all I had, tonight and stuff. So, but yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, dude.
All right, man. Definitely appreciate you. We're going to give him a round of applause as well. And unfortunately, he is right. For whatever reason, we struggle with the Raiders, and he's right. We've seen trends where we have lost to a certain division. It has happened to us before. So moving right along, guys, we got 2 more calls left. Plugged in, we're going to call him back. And then, Caleb, I'm going to come right back to you. Here it is. Plugged in ain't working, guys. I don't know what's happening there, my brother. But we got to move on to the next. All right, we have one other guy that we will bring in place of plugged in. We have Tyrese Mann. We're going to get you in. I'm going to bring you in right after Caleb. And you guys are doing good with the time. I'm giving you guys a little leeway. But again, the 2 to 3 minute mark. If we go beyond 3 minutes, don't take it personal, but I may just cut you. But let's go ahead and get Caleb Long up in here. We're calling you right now. Caleb, what's going on?
Well, first I have to say the turnovers killed us. If you look at the eye test, you cannot definitively say that the Broncos were a better team. We just killed ourselves. And that Grimble play, the one thing that bothered me the most, more than the fumble, was that was a great play call. That was a play action fake, and the entire defense fell for Connor. They all pulled to the side, and he was wide open. That was a great call by Victor, and it was wiped away by a bad fumble. So that was just terrible.
Facts. Great play call, man. I'm glad you reminded me of that because I wanted to say that. As much as I beat him up a little bit, that was a great play call, and it worked.
So because of that, I mean, I don't think coaching's a problem. Like I see on social media, it's like staff, it's like the coach cannot do more than just tell the players to secure the football. I mean, you're really going to blame the coach for someone not securing the football with two hands. I find that a little asinine. So that's what that. At the beginning, I saw something that's a rapidly recurring thing with the Steelers. We got beat by those wheel routes. And then this was something in the Panther game with Christian McCaffrey that they lined us up with the middle linebacker, either Bostic or Vince Williams, and that tight end where that running back's going to beat that middle linebacker every time. And that's what happened in that play on that first touchdown with Denver. They just kept on doing that wheel route to that tight end, and it beat us. So that's something that our defense has always struggled on, and I've seen that a bunch of teams are picking up on that. So
what you think about Joe Hayden, man? I wanted to ask the chat, but I'll ask Caleb while he's here as well. How y'all feel about Joe Hayden, man? And he's a little older and he can't run as much. Does that look like a liability going forward?
I don't really think so. I just feel like Joe Hayden's more of a press guy. Or he's a zone guy, but he can press also. But if you line him up with a speedster, like no disrespect to Emmanuel Sanders, he can run. So because of that, I feel that speed is Joe Hayden's weakest part of his game. So I don't really see him as a liability. That's just a bad matchup. And that's really the first matchup that Joe Hayden really lost all season that I could see definitively. So I don't find that too much of a concern.
Absolutely, man. You got 30 seconds. Any last thing you want to say?
James, Javon Hargrave played another game. He played lights out. I feel like we try to utilize Jalen Samuels a lot, and I feel that we could probably use Jalen Samuels more because he's been really productive for us. Juju is a bad man, and I'm not too worried about this game. Ultimately, we'll be back at home at prime time, and we always seem to do good then. And I was also curious about that exchange between Watts and SimFBall. I don't know what it was, but yeah, that's what. And Washington died for that ball when he could have just ran and caught it. I don't know what's up with Washington. He must be having some mental breakdown or something like that. So that's all I got, Sim. Thanks for letting me on.
No problem, man. Round of applause to you. Couple things I want to comment on what he said, man. I fully agree. See, I love you guys. I love when y'all call because you remind me of stuff. James Washington, I know that was a tough catch, buddy, but you got to catch that ball. That would have given him a chance to make a name for himself. Yeah, that was an interesting piece of information right there, man. I appreciate you bringing that up as far as y'all saw SimFBall and Watt. They was having a real conversation. And then I saw Cam Hayward kind of got into it, and you could read old boy's lips. You know, SimFBall was like, you ain't going to put that on me or something like that. Interesting. Because what do we keep hearing? Communication. And SimFBall was right there. And I don't know, man. I mean, they're probably going to score right there from the end zone anyway. But it's interesting to see that now guys are kind of finger pointing. That could be a good and bad thing. So I don't necessarily like that, but I think they'll get it together, man. So let's take the last call, man. We're going to bring in Tyrese, man. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Again, you guys are doing great with the time, 2 to 3 minutes. We're calling you right now. You live on the air. What you got for us? Hello, hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We got you. What's going on?
Yo, Sim, I'm completely with you when you say that the Saints game, when we go into New Orleans, is going to be a loss because it's really hard playing in New Orleans.
A blowout.
But how do you feel about us possibly going into KC in the playoffs, having to play them there?
Man. Oof. Here's the funny thing, man. With the exception, I'm going to be quick because I don't want to take too much of your time.
You good.
With the exception of, like the Saints, most of the good teams, their defenses are allowing a lot. Because I know we get on our defense a lot, but you look at the Chiefs. They can't stop nobody. Yeah. The Patriots could be scored on. I mean, look at that Rams-Chiefs game. And I'm not going to say the defenses suck because there were some plays, and Aaron Donald is a problem. But, I mean, they go up and down the field. So I'm not afraid of a lot of these teams. But I don't know, man. I don't know if we can duel those guys in KC. I just don't trust, seeing what some of these subpar teams in terms of talent are able to do against us. It scares me, man. I don't know if our defense can hold those guys. We'll see.
Yeah. And then when you saw TJ Watt and Cody Sensabar arguing, the communication failed when they do motion plays because their roles have to switch. And I think Cody Sensabar might have thought he was doing an outside press, and he just got beat and gave up a touchdown. And I think TJ's trying to tell him that he's doing the wrong role. That's just what I think.
Yeah, it was interesting, man, because TJ looked like he was adamant. I wish I knew what he was saying, but, yeah, it looked like he really had something to say. And if you kind of view it, it seemed as if Cam Hayward
2-minute warning.
Agreeing, you know what I mean? It seems
he
like
was agreeing
Cody,
with him.
Right? So that's interesting, man. It's very. I will say this. I was going to say this after the calls, but I might as well say it now because everybody's listening still. We need corners and linebackers, man, going into the draft. We thin, bro. Because when TJ went down, whoa, I was nervous. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. I think we're playing with a capable subpar defense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, scared, man.
And then the last thing I want to say is I just want to see a little bit more creativity in the red zone from Randy Fichtner because that was the big problem with Todd Haley was the red zone. His play calling was really off, and now Randy Fichtner is getting really predictable, which is why we're not scoring.
Very, very true, man.
Time's up.
Definitely agree with you on that front. Yeah, Fichtner, man, he's got to switch up some things, and I appreciate you coming on, man. And we're going to give you a round of applause real quick before I continue. Guys, let me take time to say, this is exactly how I want these shows to be. This is a fan thing. It ain't just me. 4 calls. We could have had 5, but I don't know what happened with Plugged In. Phenomenal. That's how I want it. I want it to be calls. Y'all hear me, ramble a little bit, and the rest of it is hearing from you guys. Because number 1, like I always say, we're a big family. And number 2, you guys sometimes say stuff that I totally forget about. And y'all did it tonight. So again, a round of applause to everybody called in. All right, guys, now we're going to spend a little bit of time just reading the chats. We're at 46 minutes. I'll say maybe about 5 minutes or so, if that, I'll stay on. But fire them away, guys, because now I'm reading the chats. Nay says, we need Ryan Shazier and Rod Woodson. Yeah, man, Shazier, that Shazier loss was a huge one. Huge. Kenyon says, are we switching positions now? I'm the cynical one, not you, Sam. Yeah, man. Oh, man. A round of applause to Smooth, man, for the donation. Guys, y'all know I don't like doing this, but people always encourage me to tell you. They say you should always tell people how they can donate if you want to. Don't feel pressured, guys, please. But the little dollar sign there at the bottom of the chat, right by the smiley face, that's how you do it. It's a secured connection. It doesn't come directly to me, per se. It's secure. I think you can do PayPal. If you want to, fine. If you don't, okay? But people always tell me, man, you should always say that. So there it is. Champagne Poppy says, is Julian Love a good CB? I'm not sure. I'm not sure myself. No, man, that was $2. That wasn't $200. Oh, Nightwolf. He tried to make Smooth pay all this money out, huh? Yeah, let's see. Adam Worthy says, do you think we will activate Ola onto the 53-man roster? We might have to activate somebody, only because TJ Watt, man, and Bud Dupree, which, let's be honest, we were getting pressure early in the game, because I actually wrote that as a key point. Early in the game, we seemed to be getting a little bit of pressure. We didn't do a whole lot of blitzing in terms of more than 4. We did do some creative things, even bringing 4. But the pressure kind of went away, especially after TJ hurt his wrist a bit. Bud Dupree didn't really make a lot of noise. Javon Hargrave was doing his thing out there. Vince Williams got him a sack. I saw a few times where, Cam Hayward was pushing guys back into the backfield. But looking at the outside linebacker position, we were thin coming into this game, coming into this season. If TJ goes, just think about it. If TJ couldn't have played, we're looking at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't check the active 46-man roster all the way. I don't know if, I don't know if there was another linebacker up. Probably not, because they had Chicolo, Bud, and Watt. But let's just say TJ couldn't have played no more. It's Chicolo. So I think we're going to have to make some decisions as we get further down into the latter half of this season. Hey, man, we're going to need some more help rushing the passer. DMT 2834 says, worst come to worst, I at least want that 3 seed. Chargers are going to be 5th, so 3rd would be better in my opinion. Might change my tune if Ravens sneak in at the 6th spot. Yeah, man, listen, you don't want a divisional opponent like the Ravens sneaking into the playoffs. That could get ugly. I'm just calling it facts. People can say what they want about, again, I am not a believer of, we're going to beat that team up. Are there games that I feel like a team should win? Absolutely. But they don't go like that in the NFL. Just like tonight's game. You would expect the Vikings should be able to go and, try to knock out the Packers. But, hey, with Aaron Rodgers, anything's possible. Still a Nation says, and I'm a little behind. Let me go back to Still a Nation. He says, we go cornerback in first round and LB in the second round, and then I think in the 3rd round too. Yeah, and it just depends on who's there. I think it's hard for me to say which position is more valuable now. Yeah, it's hard for me to do that. And I'm trying, guys. I am reading from the bottom up, but this is the thing. Remember we had this discussion before, which one is better? Whether I'm reading from the top down or the bottom up, I'm going to miss something regardless, because I am reading from the bottom up. But once I read one person, there's another person or another 3 or 4 people who've typed. So it's never going to be in order, but we'll try. Let's start right here with all around Gamer 74. He sucks. I mean, half the touchdowns are his coverage is garbage. Who you talking about? Who you talking about? He's talking about Edmonds. Nah, man, listen. Why do y'all keep trying to push the rookie out of the door? He's a rookie. I don't understand I don't understand some of our fanism. We think that everything is supposed to be perfect. The coach is supposed to make the perfect call every time. We're supposed to draft the All-Americans every time. We're supposed to win every game. We ain't supposed to allow no first downs. We ain't supposed to allow no touchdowns. We ain't never supposed to lose. Well, sometimes we get crazy with our expectations. Give that kid a chance. He's a rookie. And he wasn't a great coverage guy in college. He was decent, but give a man a chance. I'm not pushing him out the door just yet. Already? We ain't even hardly paying him much. I mean, come on, man. Let's see. Eli says Steelers and he a top 5 pick. Good luck with that. Not sure exactly who he's referring to there. SimFBall needs to go. Yeah. See, SimFBall is the type of guy that he's the best out of the worst DBs we got. He's better than Artie Burns. Those are facts from what I've seen. I don't know what has happened to Cam Sutton. Cam Sutton don't even seem to be in the picture no more. Tony says Antonio Brown gave a heck of a block on Juju touchdown. He's not known as a blocker. Also, Pouncey got destroyed on that play. Tony, thank you. Because me and you text each other about that play. And shout outs to the caller. I'm sorry I can't remember which one of you guys said it. Bruh, Ben standing in there. Pouncey got punished on that play. Ben throws it off his back foot. And Juju does the rest. Cuts across the field. Antonio throws a great block to prevent another guy from chasing him down. Beautiful stuff. It almost reminded me of the Patriots game last year where some people said Juju should have stayed outside instead of inside. I don't know. I think he still probably wouldn't have scored last year, but made the excellent play this time. And there you have it, the boys in the record books. I love this kid. I love this kid. And I know everybody wanted to beat him up for a few of the drops he's had this year. Whatever. Juju is that dude. Nightwolf says, Sim, a young Joe Green. Listen, guys, every week, Nightwolf says I look like Joe Green. I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't know. But I swear he says it every single week. Cadillac Status says Edmonds is not flashing any upside. That's what we're saying. That's cool. But again, the dude is a rookie. That's all I'm saying. Like, okay, let's get rid of him. Who plays behind him? Who comes in and plays behind him? The only thing I can accept is if guys are saying, well, put Morgan Burnett out there more. And to be honest, I haven't charted it. I don't know. I'll have to look at this game, and I promise I will know this by Tuesday. I'll have to look to see who's out there in base. But we play 3 safeties a lot this year. Who comes in and plays in place of Edmonds? It ain't Dangerfield, because Dangerfield ain't the cover guy either. We don't have anybody. This is what I'm saying. I get what y'all are saying, but guys, number one, the dude is a rookie. Let him learn. Let's not fail to remember, Troy Polamalu had a horrible rookie season. I'm not comparing the two guys. No way, no how. But it's facts. Troy Polamalu was terrible pretty much in his rookie season. Come on, man. Get a dude a chance. Oh, Debbie just said the same thing. Champagne Poppy said, next one of y'all that say Edmonds sucks, y'all catching them hands. Cody was Artie Burns 3 years ago. Somebody say they would rather have Troy back. Come on, man. Y'all need to cut it out. Aguilar, I just saw that. He says, you think Artie Burns is leaving? Artie could very well be cut. It's possible. Because at this point, I know generally I would say, well, he's on a rookie contract. It's only one, he has 1 season left. But the dude is benched. That, to me, is very telling. Artie ain't getting no burn. Or Cam Sutton. They're not coming in the game, bro. Have y'all noticed that? They're not coming in the game. That's telling. All Around Gamer says, I can't really talk because I liked Ike Taylor. And see again, Ike grew into being a good defender. And do me a favor, guys. Come on, man. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. Throw them likes up, man. I know y'all can do it. Throw them likes up on there. We are sitting at 28 right now. Nicholas McNamara says, Ike Taylor was all right. He had a lot of good years. I think 1 shutdown year. Yeah, he ended up being pretty decent. And Tony says, how was Edmonds a bust? You know what, Tony? We all family here, but I'm not even going to answer it no more, man. I don't see... Again, I'm telling you, and I'm saying this in a joking way, but as Steelers fans, we are all guilty of just falling in love with perfection. Sometimes, even if the dude ain't it is what it is. The Steelers had to take a chance. We definitely needed somebody else. We wasn't going to bring Mike Mitchell back, so we had to draft the safety and find one in free agency. We did what we did. The steal away. It is what it is, but I don't understand why y'all calling my man a bust already. Cole Edwards says trade for Ramsey. Why do y'all think Ramsey will be traded from? Okay. Now, if it works, great. But why would Jacksonville trade him? I don't know, man. I don't know. Official Jumpman says, let's do it, guys. Likes up. Yeah, man. Oh, there we go. We have 40 right now. Love y'all. I see what y'all doing out there. How about this one thing we all like is our Pittsburgh Steelers win or loss? Absolutely. Debbie says the Steelers would be too far down in the order to get a great DB, linebacker, etc. You'd be mad if their record was like 3-7, 4-6, etc. Very true. Kenya says they don't know what they are talking about. Facts. My boy Caleb, and thanks for calling, Caleb. Caleb says, I feel confident against the Chargers. I live in Missouri and catch the Chargers and Chiefs all the time. All you have to do is pressure Rivers. The Chiefs have their number. Thoughts? Oh, that's the formula. You know what? Leonard said the same thing while we was watching the game. If we can get some pressure on Phillip Rivers, we might cause him to make some decisions that he don't want to, he would love to take back. Nightwolf says Artie and Marcus Gilbert could be gone. Marcus Gilbert could be gone. That's a good observation. He hasn't been healthy. He's been consistently not healthy. The same thing that Tony and I said about the big Ragu, who is Foster, but Foster has played more than he hasn't played this year, so I think maybe they get him back cheap. Gilbert could be out of there, man. Both Fowler and Okorafor so far have done decent jobs on that line. All right, I think that's going to be it, guys. I think we're going to get up out of here. Let me see where we at. Yeah, we sitting at 59 minutes and 23 seconds. I'll read 2 more comments. All right, we'll do this really quick as we get out of here. Nicholas says we need to draft a DB in the first round. Real quick, let's do a poll. What do you guys think we need to go as far as first round? And speaking right now, because anything could change in the next few games, we might feel better about a position. But as of right now, do you guys think it's a corner, outside linebacker, or inside linebacker? I hope everybody joins in with this poll. Where would you like the Steelers to go in the first round? Corner, outside linebacker, or inside linebacker? Leonard said he's just listening. Yeah, me and Leonard had a good discussion about the game, man. We both didn't like what we saw. And Leonard makes a good point. Even though I say you can never say this, it is true. In theory, you think the Steelers should go in there and get the job done, which they should have. The turnovers is really killed the Steelers in this game. And the run. We did spring a leak a few times, allowing Lindsey to get off. But I dearly really believe we lost the game due to the turnovers. Inside backer, corner. Inside backer, edge rusher. Outside backer, corner. Inside backer, corner. Corner. DB. Okay. Kenya says, what kind of trades? Come on, man. Our history. That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, we don't have to agree with the history, but we know how the Steelers operate. The draft is loaded with edge rusher sim, so outside linebacker. Okay. How about this, Eric? Just saying, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if it's loaded with rushers, you think we go DB first and then come back and get a rusher? Or do we go inside backer first and then get an edge rusher in the second if the draft class is loaded? And we're pretty much assuming we're going to get something for Le'Veon Bell. What y'all want to reach in the first round for a DB unless a Baker or Williams? I don't want to go DB in the first. Okay. I don't think Eli Rogers gets any burn when he comes back, to be honest with you. Switzer's doing the job. Who does Eli take off the roster? Who does he take off? I mean, yeah, Switzer muffled the punt, but Switzer's been good, and Switzer showed that he's capable in the pass game today. I don't think Eli Rogers gets back on the field. I just don't. Now, Leonard, I'm going to pick with you because you were one of the main people that didn't like Eli Rogers when I used to campaign for him. So don't ask for him right now. Yeah, Eli Rogers is not a difference maker at this moment. I mean, he hasn't played. He hasn't. Anybody that, even Ola, he hasn't played. Any of these guys who haven't played got to get back in football shape, number one. Number two, if we talking Eli Rogers, who does he take off the field? Who? It's not going to be Switzer. Now, some people can argue James Washington, but James Washington is not a slot. And Eli is not an outside guy. So he's not going to take Washington's spot. So I don't know. But all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate what y'all did tonight. I'm going to give you guys a round of applause. And so you guys know the formula. Like I said, the post-game show will be the extended show. We're going to try, and I know we went way overboard last week, but Terrible Towel Tuesday, that's going to be the compact show. I'm going to do less talking in that show. I think I'm going to start the show by doing all 22, talk a little, see what y'all got, and then we out. All right, so appreciate you guys tonight, man. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. Get them likes up. Share the stream. Cut on your notifications so you know when the streams are available. And outside of that, hey, man, I still took a L today. They beat themselves. Let's see if we're better prepared versus the Chargers next week. All right? Y'all be good. Take care. See you guys on Tuesday for Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.